Hello guys, so welcome to this video. Apologies for the green shirt, but there we go, that's what I'm wearing. This is a quick video here for you just to show off how to change up things for sorting out an Egglocke on Pokemon Insurgence. So as you can see, I've got a save file here, but this isn't, whoops, moving the wrong thing. I'll go to there and move things down. This is just going to show you quickly. So obviously the egg generation is fairly straightforward. So let's say, for example, I wanted to make a Beldum. Let's say make a Delta Beldum. So, you know, we'd go here, so gender would, we don't have to change that for this one because it's genderless. Ability, got 3 abilities. You got, okay, so we're going to go for immunity, so we can't be poisoned. Item, we're going to go for the Delta Metagrossite Spider, which is the one. Nature, Brave. All this is fairly unimportant, so we're going to name it Sensei because he is teaching us right now. Right, then you go to IVs, just back out of that because unless you want to set any of them, obviously if you need to set any of them, just go into it, change that, just change that to what it needs to be, but obviously make sure it doesn't go above 31. So in moves, then what you can do is set up these like that, so you just do that. But if you were just generating another different Pokemon egg and you'd got all 4 eggs, all 4 moves full, so let's say there was Earthquake and I don't know, Hydro Pump or Fire Fang, something there, you would have to get rid of those by doing that over the top of it. Don't worry about that. That's not actually caused any issues for it by having duplicate moves. I've done that on a few of the Pokemons that I had to generate, but it was just out of the fact that in chain generation of Pokemon you do have to sort of make sure you're changing all the moves, otherwise the egg will be counted as being illegal and the game will not load it. So there are other issues as well, and what I'll show you how to sort that out. It's tedious, but if you're having trouble loading eggs, unfortunately that is the best way to do it. So what you want to do, you just generate egg. We're going to name this as Egglocke tutorial. Egglocke eggs tutorial. Eggs tutor. There we go. So it's saved in the eggs folder. That's where these other bits come in. So we're going to open up that. So what we're going to do, we are going to go to the right drive. So go to our downloads, and then it should be Pokemon Insurgence 1.2.3 core, Pokemon Insurgence. Then you go here to the eggs folder. You can see that they are all here. Now I'm just going to copy this one because all the others are in the files that I've got them. So what you want to do is you want to go back to where all the other eggs are. So I've got them in local disk C, and then you go, you see I've got eggs here. So I'll just paste that one in here. So eggs tutor is in this place as well where it needs to be. So this is where we bring up Notepad, not Notepad, apologies, that. But if you look at the Notepad just there, you can see that is how the egg is generated. But if I was to close out of that, and if I was to go back to Pokemon Insurgence, and I was to look at the Egglocke folder, if you look at the Egglocke file, once it's all grouped up, that's how it should look. It's one really long file with all the eggs in there. So there we go. So let me just go back to where the eggs are. There we go. So this is the important bit. So we've got command open here. So let me just reopen command so that you guys can see all of it fresh from scratch. So let me bring that over here. There we go. So what you want to do is you first of all want to type cd space c : /eggs. That is going to do, what it does is that changes the drive to the folder where your eggs are. You want to change that based on where your eggs are. I like to put it in the C drive / and then a file called eggs, as you can see here. So basically it's just this PC, local disk C, and then I made a file called eggs. In there are all the eggs that I used. So we've got all of those ones there, and we want to keep an eye out for eggs tutor in the list. So what you want to do then, just to make sure that all the ones that are there that should be showing are showing, you just type dir and then just go through that and check. So yeah, we can see eggs tutor is there, and all the other eggs are in the list as well. So this is where you want to use this. There's a little command thing that you want to do. So you want to do copy space star.txt. Then you want to make whatever file that's going to go to. So Egglocke tutorial.txt. So there we go. Now that has copied. Now if you look back at here, suddenly a new file has appeared, this Egglocke tutorial, and if we open this up, you can see we've got all of these ones here. Now what you want to do as well is make sure you get rid of that at the bottom. Did I just undo? No, yeah, you want to get rid of that just at the bottom. There's always a little bracket icon just at the bottom. So you can see up here we've got Sensei just there. And you've got all the other eggs as well. Now what you will have to do, unfortunately, let's say that one of the eggs was an issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up another notepad as well, and we can get rid of that screen region because that is not so important. So we're going to bring that one over here and then add source, screen capture, boom. Let's get that notepad just there, that notepad just there, and the eggs one can go as well because we don't need that folder. So let's say on this file that you had an error somewhere in the eggs, and let's say you'd done similar to me, so you know which ones are which. You had them named after the person who submitted them. So what I would do, I would take these ones here, I would cut them in the new file, I'd paste that, then I'd save that file and try to load that up in the Egglocke to see if it works. Now it's tedious, so what I'd need to do is, so I'd go File, Save, I'd save it, so I'd go back to the base file where it's supposed to be saved. So I'll show you that. It's supposed to be saved. You can't actually see, if I drag this over here, will it show? No, because I got rid of that screen region. Whoops. Screen capture. There we go. So let's just add that in. So you want to save it in Pokemon Insurgence Core 1.2.3 or wherever your game file is saved, and you want to save it in Egglocke, not in eggs. So here you would save it as tutorial, whatever you want to call it, tutorial.txt, and save that. So there we go, there's that saved. We can get rid of that one. So if I was to just turn those off and then go here, restart this. So I'm going to just change over to save file 2 because again that's one I'm not too fussed about. So yes, we're going to say we're going to overwrite it. Just skip through all of this bit. Yes, yada yada yada. So you'd have to cycle through this bit, showing you just quickly how to sort it out, because obviously if there's an issue you have to get rid of the wrong egg. Normally if there's something wrong with one of the eggs, the game will say not responding, and then it will say we're restarting because something's gone wrong, and then it will say script hanging. So you've got to make sure you select the right options. And what you can do here, so I've put in all of Ren's eggs. I think I know for a fact that Ren's eggs are okay, because I think I had no issues putting those in every time. But what you want to do is, if you have an issue with one of the submissions of eggs, this is a far less tedious way of doing it, because let's say you've got 5 people that have each submitted 20 eggs, and you want to put in that 100 eggs. You're putting in 20 at a time, and let's say there's only one egg that's a problem. You will know in that 20 that there's one that's wrong. What I do is I take out half of their eggs. If that section has a problem, I take out half the eggs. If it then works, you know that the problem is in that half. If it still has a problem, you know the problem is in the other half. So you'd say yes to doing a challenge lock, and then you'd say Nuzlocke and egg challenge. So egg challenge, so you've chosen to do an Egglocke, yada yada yada. This is these bits here, so etc. So they can either be taken from a text file in the Egglocke or randomly generated. So this is where you want to choose load eggs from text file. So Egglocke, so we want to load it from tutorial, because Egglocke testing and Egglocke are all good. So eggs were successfully loaded. That's as far as you need to go in terms of finding things, and you can press F12 to reset the file. So has it actually ever written? No, that save is still there. Not that I'm too fussed. But anyway, that is how you sort those eggs out. That's how you do it. If you do want to play along with the Egglocke that I've been doing at all, I do have a Discord. I'll try and put a link to that in the description down below. And what you can do with that is you can just download that Egglocke folder, put it into your game, and play along if you so wish. I hope this has been useful. The method with the command is just a lot easier to group your files together into one big block file of text, rather than having to go in to each file manually, copy the egg out and paste it into. I found a tutorial for it which was very, very, very informative when I was looking for it. Unfortunately, it was just in general means of text files. It wasn't to do with Pokemon Insurgence, but I thought I'd do this as a full tutorial for anyone else that is looking to do Egglocks, that doesn't want to have as much tedium put on their hands, or is just finding it a bit difficult with how to sort out the Egglocks, or where to find the eggs, or where to put the eggs. So as I said, all of the eggs are just in local disks. They're in the local files of Pokemon Insurgence. Eggs is where the generated eggs are saved. Egglocke is where you want to put the file with all of the eggs that are listed. But anyway, I hope this has been very useful for you guys. I hope you found it informative and helpful. I'm going to be leaving it there, but thank you very much for watching, and take care. Bye bye.